Hello and welcome back to the MLB DFS slate breakdown for March 31st, Monday. We're here. We got 8 games on tap on both sites. It's going to be a fun one. I'm your host, Tyler Wiemann. Come join us at LineStar. It's only $39.99 per month. Gets you access to all the props, all the DFS, all the tools, all the best ball for both sites, or for all the sports, for all the sites we cover. Also, free 7-day trial through the App Store, Android or iOS App Store. LineStar is available. If you haven't tried us out, you get 7 free days. Give us a download there. Try us out. Give us 5-star review and tell us how much you love us. It helps a ton. Now, let's get into it. Get over to the perfect lineups. Start with good old DK. Sunday slate. Perfect lineup. Chris Bassett and Taj Bradley. Both of them had games. Both put up 23 points. We had 2 Yankees and 3 Cardinals make the perfect lineup. And then if we go to the winning lineup on DraftKings, good old Cody Ray, 91, had first, second, fourth, fifth. He had a day himself, and we had Taj Bradley and Tanner Bybee in the perfect lineup. Then they had Ben Rice, Chisenholm, and Judge, so a little 3-man with a 5-man St. Louis stack. When you put up 9 and 12 runs, you tend to want a lot of those guys, so congrats to them. They won $100K with the good old 5-3 stack. Now, let's get over to the perfect lineup on FanDuel. We got Chris Bassett over here putting up 46. We had a 3-man Cardinals, 2-man Yanks, and then 2 one-offs. And then our winning lineup went to JD1079, who had Taj Bradley. They had a 2-man Yankees, the whole Chisenholm and Judge stack, and then all one-offs. Congrats to you. You won 20K. It's not a strategy I would keep trying out, but hey, to each their own. You got it done. Good for you. And let's move it on to today's contest and see what we can pull up here. Starting with pitchers on DraftKings. Our highest owned, Bowden Francis, 8,300, 15-point projection, 16-point consensus, 34% owned. And look, Bowden had some real nice upside last year. He had a string of games when he, just took over that starter job that were amazing. Outside of that, though, we got 3.93 FIP, solid. 22% K rate, decent. 8,300, it's probably a little low. There is some upside here, but I don't absolutely love this spot for Francis. Don't mind it. Don't mind having a little bit, but I think he may be going a little over-owned here. Tyler Glasnow, 10K, 29% owned. He is clearly the pitcher everybody wants today. Braves had a tough opening series versus my Padres. Let's go Padres. But they also got a bit unlucky. They hit some balls very hard and it just, either went to somebody or Padres were able to make a great play. I don't think it is as bad as, the 0-4 start really looks. Now, Glasnow is very, very good, and so it's never a guy you want to go against, but Braves aren't a team you want to try and pick on. However, Glasnow is clearly the best pitcher on this slate. I am absolutely going to have some of him, even though I don't love the matchup here. Next, we got Kyle Hart, 6K, 23% owned. We got the Cleveland Guardians with likely no Jose Ramirez. I haven't seen if he is officially out yet today, but I know he got hurt yesterday. And Kyle Hart, he had 28% K rate in the Korean League. I would expect that breaks out to 18, 20-ish% here in major leagues. And that's a decent spot, especially with the Guardians, Jose Ramirez less. So I'm fine taking a little shot at a 6K value pitcher in a pitcher park without the opponent's best hitter. Next, we got Drew Rasmussen. I really like the spot for Drew. He is probably going to be one of my higher owned pitchers at 8,500, 22% owned. I think he's going a little under owned in a good spot versus the Pirates. Issue is we got, the Steinbrenner field here. It is 80 degrees. Winds are slightly blowing out, so it is good hitting weather. But Rasmussen, big time strikeout stuff. Pirates striking out a 25% clip versus righties over the last 20 games. I'm pretty interested in going with some Rasmussen. Now, the downside, in 23 plate attempts, they are hitting 381 off of him. So that's not great. However, I think a lot of that data is from a little while ago. He has been pretty solid the last couple of years, as you can see from his .66 FIP over his last 5 starts. Now, mind you, his 3 starts last year were all like 20, 30 pitch outings as he was coming back from injury. So he's going to be stretched out a little bit more. That K rate may come down a little bit. That FIP is going to go up, but I think he's a very solid pitcher and in an interesting spot here versus the Pirates. Pivot time, Ben Brown, 7,500, 16% owned versus the Sacramento A's. Ben Brown has shown some big time K upside. Don't mind him in this spot versus the Athletics, who have shown the ability to strike out a little bit, but have also been hitting decently to start the year. They hit the ball hard, but if you miss those bats, they can really, really struggle, and I think Ben Brown's in an interesting spot. Ronel Blanco, 9K versus the Giants. I am absolutely interested in Blanco. Closed the season very well. 2.76 FIP, 30% K rate on the season. A FIP before, ERA of 2.74. Now, a lot of the data does show that he likely regresses this year, which I am a little worried about, but we're on a slate here where there's very few pitchers with big time upside. Blanco has the upside. When he's locked in, he's been very, very good. And the Giants striking out a 23% clip. We got a 27% combined K rate. Very, very interesting on a guy that's going a little under owned. Outside of that, you got to talk about Jackson Jobe, rookie here that is a big time pitching prospect. There is major upside. It's his first start, so anything can happen here. But I'm absolutely a little interested in Jobe. I at least want to watch him and see what he can get together. I may not have very much of him, but I am willing to take shots if he really is going to go this low owned at 6%. So Jobe is definitely interesting. On to pitchers on FanDuel are high owned here. Glasnow, Francis. The only guy that I think really should be higher owned than he is Rasmussen, and then I don't mind some Brown or Blanco at their prices also. Brown at 7,100 is very cheap. I'm willing to take some shots, but it is going to be hard to get away from Glasnow when his projection is so much higher than everybody else. I mean, you're talking about 13 points or 12 and change on Blanco. That's a huge difference, and you're giving up a lot of points on projection if you don't go Glasnow. So that's the warning there. I'm going to have a lot of Glasnow. I'm definitely going to have some Blanco, and then Rasmussen also, maybe a little Francis, but I might get away from Francis a little bit and go with the upside of Blanco or Rasmussen at 8K. Now, let's get into some stacks, see what we can pull up here in the good old stack department. So, starting with the highest projected stack, we got the Dodgers versus Grant Holmes. Grant Holmes is decent, man. 3.47 FIP over his last 20, 3.33 over the last 5. It's just that it is the Dodgers. Dodgers are somehow minus 225 favorites to the Braves. It's just wild that you're seeing the Braves that big of underdogs here. But hey, this Dodgers team is very good. The one thing, though, we have them very higher projected, but you're not going to use this Dodgers lineup. You're not going to use a lineup that takes 26K for your stack. It's just putting up, too much going that way. If we scroll down, some Cubs do filter in that you could actually use their lineup. I think the Cubs are very interesting as well. Our highest owned stack, we got Toronto versus Soroka, who Soroka was a big time prospect, but really hasn't really gotten much going for him. And I think Toronto is very interesting. Jimenez has been hot. Vlad and Bichette are very solid hitters. There's some nice value in the back end of that lineup. Toronto makes a very good case. Also, Cubs are popping up a little bit. Joey Estes hasn't been great. 5.47 FIP over his last 20, 7.84 over his last 5. And we have this Sacramento stadium, which is much smaller than Oakland. The dimensions of the outfield aren't too much difference, but there's way less foul territory. And the predominant wind is going to be blowing out, and it is still very windy. The ball should be affected by the wind a little bit more. And today it is double digits blowing out. So I think Cubs are very interesting. Value stack wise, we got Detroit versus Emerson Hancock. I think that's a very interesting spot. I do think this Detroit team is going to hit the ball much better than they have in years prior. And Hancock hasn't been great. 5.45 FIP over the last 20 starts is interesting. They are a cheap stack too, which means you can pay up at pitcher if you want. So they are interesting. St. Louis popping up. They've been hitting very well. Tyler Anderson on the bump. You never really know what you're going to get from Anderson. He can be very good. He can get lit up. So to each their own there. But Cardinals can score a lot of different ways, so they are interesting. Cleveland versus Kyle Hart is absolutely one that I would be taking some chances on. Now, likely no Jose Ramirez here, but Kyle Hart, last time we saw him in the MLB, got lit up, and he got lit up in spring training. I think there's absolutely some chances that the Guardians are able to get to the Padres a little bit today. Highest ceiling stacks, we got Dodgers, as we're going to all season long, and our highest leverage stack, Braves versus Glasnow. This should be no surprise. With Glasnow, the ownership that Glasnow is going to get makes the Braves obvious leverage here if they're able to get the Glasnow. They had a rough first 4 days, but can they turn it around? We will see. I hope you guys have a good one. We will be back with more tomorrow. Let's go make some money. Peace.